What's up guys, RuppDat here, and welcome to my next PPL West Champion battle from 2018. My second challenger overall was a guy by the name of Shade. He goes by ShadeTooth on Twitter. He also said on my challenger survey he wanted to go by the name Kareem as well. I presume that's his actual name. He brought to his challenge against me a team of Alolan Ninetales and Alolan Sandslash, so there's a hail element there. Reuniclus, Azumarill, Flygon, and what would be revealed in-game as Mega Charizard Y. So that's quite the interesting team he's brought. Far as my challenger survey was concerned, he said his favorite type was Fire, so I brought a Magmortar to the equation. I figured Magmortar would probably be the best just because of what he does have as far as Megazard Y and Reuniclus. He does have, my Magmortar does have Assault Vest, I believe, if I recall back correctly. His least favorite type is Ghost, so that's why Cofagrigus is here. Just my lovely little defensive wall. And his favorite color is blue, which resulted in me bringing Mega Gyarados. This Mega Gyarados actually had quite a productive weekend, I will say that. The number he picked was 16, so my Silvally ended up being Rock-type for this game, which kind of helps against Ninetales and Sandslash to some degree, and Megazard Y, so it's got something to do against his weather setters. Not so helpful against Flygon and Azumarill, though. His favorite in-game trainer is Hala, so just like with my last battle where I got to use Alolan Eradicate for the first time, now I'm getting to use Crabominable for the first time, which was interesting. And for most memorable PPL battle, he originally said Mondo, who was one of our Elite Elite 6 this year, who basically ran a Ground and Steel kind of gimmick. He was basically the Earthbender of the East. Unfortunately, I found out that Shade was actually playing on Sun and Moon as opposed to Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, so the signature mon of Mondo, which was Stakataka, could not come to this game. So, since I only had one signature mon per leader, I kind of had to make him change his leader. Unfortunately, that's the only time Mondo came up over the weekend, which is kind of sad, because I really would have loved to use Stakataka. But he changed his choice to Splinter. We actually had someone doing Master Splinter and doing a Ninja Turtle theme. So that is the reason why I have a Ninjask on this team. So, kind of an interesting team I've got here. Not so weak to one mon like the last game I ran into with Chalky. So, let's get into it and see how this one goes, as Shade is going to issue his challenge to the champion and see if he can become the second person to enter into the Hall of Fame this year. So he's going to lead with Mave, which is his Alolan Ninetales, which does not surprise me, all things considered, as I decided to lead with Concept this time around. Obviously, Snow Warning is going to set the hail up, so Alolan Sandslash can have an easier time. He's going to start the battle by going with Aurora Veil, which, not really too much of a surprise there in hindsight. As I just decided to go ahead and Thunder Wave to try to make Alolan Ninetales a little easier to deal with. I mean, I know Sandslash is the bigger threat because of Slush Rush, but Ninetales still has very good base speed, and I want to try to neutralize that for down the line. He's going to switch into the aforementioned Alolan Sandslash at this point, as I proceed to go for a Defog to get rid of the Aurora Veil. I actually found out over this weekend too, it's kind of a little known fact that Defog gets rid of screens. I found out a lot of people don't actually know that, which is kind of surprising, because that is one of Defog's new purposes for Gen 7, I believe it is. But regardless, he's going to Iron Head me, which is going to do a ton of damage, but I'm still going to be able to live it and get the parting shot off, so Alolan Sandslash is a little easier to manage now as I send out my Hala representative, Crabominable. He is going to go ahead and get right on out of here, and I don't blame him for doing so, and he sends out Osmosis Jones. That's what I was a bit confused at first, but because it's been a while since I've actually seen Osmosis Jones or even the Ozzy and Drix series that followed. But Ozzy Jones, obviously Osmosis Jones doesn't fit all the way. I proceed to Earthquake, which doesn't do much to this thing, and I proceed to get right on out of here in return. And I send out my sinister serpent, the Gyarados. It's going to get the Intimidate off, which obviously is not going to affect Ozzy here, as he proceeds to set up a Calm Mind. And this is where things slowly start to take a bit of a turn for the worse once we get through all of the extra stuff, the leftovers, the hail going away. I'm going to proceed to Dragon Dance just in case he wanted to Focus Blast, predicting me to be Mega, just so I could take the hit much better. He sets up a second Calm Mind, which I kind of think was a bit of a mistake. But maybe he just wanted to be absolutely sure. I don't know. I didn't really ask him about it after the game. Because after the game was done, he kind of took off in a hurry. I am going to go ahead and Mega Evolve on this turn, however. So Sinister is going to go from being Water Flying to Water Dark. So if he was planning on trying to use any Psychic moves, that goes out the window now. And because I am Dark type, I'm going to get Stab on this Crunch now, in addition to the +1. And unfortunately, Ozzy is going to be no more. Well, I guess I could return to Frank and help patrol the body again. Out comes Orochi now, which is going to be Mega Charizard Y, as I find out. And things are really going to start going downhill from here. I know I already said that, but this play especially is where this game really starts getting ugly, unfortunately. I'm going to go for a Waterfall, and I'm going to one-shot the Megazord Y with a crit. I did actually calc it when I got home based on what he and I discussed at another point in time. Lo and behold, as he sends out Alolan Ninetales to reset the weather, obviously he needs it for Sand Slash at this point. I actually had a roll to one-shot that thing from +1 once you factor in the sun damage weakening Waterfall. So the crit basically guaranteed it and really kind of took this game away from him for the most part. Another Waterfall is going to fell Alolan Ninetales. Out comes Alolan Sand Slash, and he's going to show me the Groundium Z and decide I'm gonna show off Tectonic Rage, try to get a big shot on those Mega Gyarados, maybe do a tremendous amount of damage, as there is the animation Tectonic Rage. And Super Saiyan Alolan Sand Slash here is going to drag me into the dirt, send me to the core of the earth, and is that going to be enough? Unfortunately, no. Without any sort of Source Dance beforehand, it is not. And Sinister is just going to be able to respond with a plain old everyday Earthquake to pay the Sand Slash back in kind, I suppose. So, my Mega Gyarados kind of lost its temper a bit and proceeded to do far more damage than I thought it would, as he's only down to 2 Mons at this point. I'm going to Earthquake now, just to get a big amount of damage off on this Azumarill, because I don't have much else I can really do to it. Crunch and Waterfall are both resisted after all. I pop his Citrus Berry, forgot for a second exactly what kind of berry that was, which kind of tells me he's probably more of a Belly Drum set. But no attempt to set up here. He's going to go straight for the Play Rough and finally put Mega Gyarados back in line. So, with this somewhat of a game, again, I guess if you want to call it that, I'm going to send out Ninja. This obviously was my Splinter representative. I decided to just call it Ninja, just to not favor any specific Ninja Turtle. I forget what the actual Splinter leader called his. But he's going to Aqua Jet. I am going to just get off an Aerial Ace. And now he's going to send out his Flygon. I am a Choice Banded Ninjask with Infiltrator. So I'm just going to fire off another Aerial Ace, get a little over half. As he proceeds to reveal Fly here, which I thought was kind of interesting. I really don't want anything taking the hit, so I'm just going to have Ninja go for another Aerial Ace, which is obviously not going to hit, and it's going to fall to the Fly. It's a crit too. So I guess there's that. I was kind of feeling bad for him at this point, but I mean, this game is unfortunately already decided. I mean, again, the whole point was me trying to lose. I mean, not necessarily trying, but obviously the main point was I was supposed to lose, because people were supposed to conquer the league and enter the Hall of Fame. Here I temporarily forgot about Fly and how slow Crabominable is, because he's going to fly and avoid my all-out pummeling. So I'm kind of left looking like an idiot there. But Hala is going to be able to live this Fly with somewhat nicely, actually. And this Ice Hammer is going to polish off Flygon. I do get a crit, but it's not... That crit is irrelevant, because even from full health, Ice Hammer would have been overkill anyway because of the quad weakness. So, my second battle as champion, and I proceed to turn back a challenger. I apologize if you're somehow watching this at any point in the future, Shade. I do apologize again for the behavior of my Mega Gyarados. I was not intending on running through a good chunk of your team with it. That is, unfortunately, how things turned out. Mega Gyarados actually had a very productive weekend in that department. This is not the last you're going to see Mega Gyarados causing an immense amount of problems for challengers, so keep that in mind. But that is my first victory as champion. Shade would come back later and rematch me, but we will get to that game in due time. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I have been RuppDat, and I will catch you guys next time. Take care.